Hey guys, Randall here, Bragging Rights Precision. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Alright, so we got in a new press, Frankford Arsenal F-1. It's their newest press out, entry-level press that I have high hopes for. Got linear bearings. I think for the price point for an entry-level press, I'm hoping that it knocks the competition out. And I think I'm going to compare it to the Hornady Iron press. The Iron press, you know, it does priming if you want it to. Does a few extra things, but it also has some quirks I'm not the most fond of. So I'm kind of curious to see how this press for the money is going to hold up in comparison. And you know, not everybody wants to prime on their single stage. To me, if I'm doing my single stage, that means I'm doing precision ammo, and I'm going to hand prime and get the primers exactly seated where I want them. Again, with the Frankford Arsenal perfect primer. Big fan of it. So let's see what we can do. Got a new empty hole here. Got the inline fabrication quick mount, flush mount plate, flush mount rack on it, and we're gonna hook it all up, unbox it, and let's see where we go with it. All right, let's open this puppy up. Let's see what we've got. Instructions. Got your mounting pattern, which we won't need. We'll be using the inline fabrication quick mount system. So we're good to go on all that. Make sure I got my camera where I need it. Here we go. Toss that aside for the moment. Looks like it comes pretty much already assembled. Hey, guess that's the yeah, it's the primer catch. Sweet. Styrofoam everywhere. So let's see what we've got. Linear bearings as advertised. What I do like, unlike the other ones, is I don't feel a bunch of slop in this thing at all. We'll know more when we get it mounted. Right now everything's solid. I like that. One I don't see is supposed to have a light. Is anything to plug the light in with? Installation's pretty short and sweet, which it appears it comes completely set up already, so that's not a problem. 2 primer catch systems are included with the F-1 reloading press. The canister assembly is self-contained and will hold up to 1,000 primers. It's amazing it doesn't take a lot of room to hold a lot of primers. The hose barb accepts 5/8 16mm inside diameter tubing, not included. Okay. Connect a micro USB cable and power supply, not included. To micro USB connector on the back of the press. Connect cable to power source. Alright. I love Frankford Arsenal. Don't understand why they sell a press that has a light with no power supply. Alright, moving on. Let's mount the plate to it from inline fabrication. Definitely love their products. They've got the best products out there for mounts and press accessories, in my opinion. Looks like everything's gonna go in fine. Lined up perfectly. Should never expect anything less from them. I like that they always use a lock style nut where they don't back out. Final tighten. I think we'll put that on after it's on the press mount. Pull the red caps off. That is mounted. Let's head on over to the bench. primer catcher mounted. Definitely need to put this on one of my taller risers mounts. But for today, this is where it's going to be. Voila. Wow, the tolerances are tight in this thing. That's awesome. Linear type bearings definitely roar up and down by the design of them. I can't get over how tight the tolerances are. Hopefully that equates into some really concentric ammo. Alright. Boy, I'd like to check that light out. So I guess we're going to rob the power supply from my M-Press. Aha! We have power and we have light. Puts out pretty good light. Alright, so I guess next up, we actually need to put a die in it, set it up. Let's see what we can do with it. And I gotta tell you, so far, it's a pretty sturdy little press. So we got some Lapua Palma brass. It's 308 with the small primer. Got the Mighty Armory decapping die in there, universal. Well, and there's one thing I already like. Did you hear that primer hit the bottom? Nice and clean. Not in my floor. Oh, I love that sound. So here's one of the quirks of the Hornady iron press that I don't like, is depriming. You see that? Where's my primer at? It sure was not where it's supposed to be. This thing's pretty flimsy. Supposed to rely on a little tab right there. Took no time to come off. So again, well, that one's already been deprimed. So that was easy. Try one with a primer actually in it. Guess where it's at? Not where it's supposed to be. That's a win for the Frankford Arsenal F-1 right there alone. That is so annoying to me. Now another annoying quirk about my Hornady Iron press is this crazy system. Relies on a little internal O-ring right there to hold that thing in, and that's just, I don't know why they couldn't just make it snap in like normal presses. But you have to have this little thing in there to hold your shell holder in there. Works sometimes, all except for if you have a die like the RCBS, my 308 competition die set, comes with a fairly decent micrometer seeder, but it uses a riser. And guess what? Nothing to hold anything in. Because it relies on being able to fit over the shell holder, which renders that useless. So what I had to do is get innovative and make me an adapter to be able to use it. Now we move back over the Frankford Arsenal F-1. There's my same adapter. Raise it up just a bit and it snaps in. The shell holders snap in really nice on this thing. In fact, it takes a bit just to even get them in and out. I like that. They stay in place, they lock in, and I'm done. Easy as it comes. Snap in my regular shell holder. Snapped right in. Good to go. None of this crap. Just don't understand that concept. I'm sorry, Hornady. Got a lot of Hornady products. Not one of my favorites. Next up on the win list for the F-1 is the lack of slop in the mechanism. Overall, that thing is super tight. I don't care if you're at the top, at the bottom. I mean, you gotta really do some manipulating to move it. Thing is super tight. Moving over to the Hornady Iron press. Slop City. Not impressed with that at all, especially for the price range. Now we're going to size some cases. I've already got some of the Lapua brass. We already deprimed. I just lubricated it. I want to see about how much difference there is in the pull of the handle. This is not scientific other than human feel. Fairly easy. There's 4 on the F1. Now let's move over to the iron press. I have to put the same die in the iron press. Mighty Armory 308 competition sizing die. noticeably more force is needed on the Hornady. Not nearly as smooth, I hate to say. Aside from the quirks that I pointed out, I have liked my Hornady iron press. I gotta tell you, big difference in the price range. So far, this little F1's beating the snot out of it in most ways. The F1 so far is smoother. I don't have to mess around with this crazy thing to hold my shell holder in. F1 comes with a light, albeit you have to supply your own power cord. Come on, guys, it's a power cord. I like the fact that on the F1, when I deprime, it actually goes into the holder that it's supposed to. It's not all over my press, all over my floor. I'm not stepping on them. Dog's not trying to eat them. One advantage that the iron press does have is, again, you can put the add-on priming setup on it, which is nice. I own it. Never installed it. I paid for it and decided I would just prefer to use my Frankford Arsenal Perfect Seater. Does a great job. It's adjustable, micro fine adjustable. I like that. Has the wheel to adjust it. Gets them exactly the depth that I want them in. It's never failed me, except when I drop the pieces. So the next test that we need to run, I want to seat some bullets and then check concentricity. Using the Hornady A-tip match, 30 cal, 176 grain. I've already done the first one to set it up on the Frankford Arsenal F1. Already seated. Got FA on 4 of these. H on the rest. So let's seat some more of the Frankford Arsenal. Using the Frankford Arsenal universal bullet seater. .798. So I'm just going to seat these because we're looking for concentricity, not so much perfect seating depth. Alright, now I'll set up the same over on the Hornady. I'm going to go ahead and set the first one up for time's sake, and then we'll seat the other 3 behind it. Now we got the first one done. We'll seat the other 3. All right. Now, 4 seated with the FAs, 4 seated for the Hornadies. Let's set up the concentricity gauge and let's see what we got. Now we're going to check the concentricity. Hornady. Just shy of 3 thousandths, about 2.5 thousandths. Hornady. Just shy of 3. Hornady. Just a little bit over 3. Hornady. Just shy of 3. Frankford Arsenal. Three and a half, almost 4. Frankford Arsenal. Oh, come on now. Just shy of 3. Frankford Arsenal. Right about 2. And the last one, Frankford Arsenal. About 1 thousandths. So that's my review of the Frankford Arsenal F-1 press. Again, their entry-level single stage. I think it definitely beat out the Hornady Iron press in my review here. I don't know, guys. You've seen it with your own eyes. So concentricity in the end between the two. Frankford beat it out on 3 out of 4 of them. Yeah, but again, I only did 4 cases. I didn't fully prep my cases. They were once fired Lapua. Did a basic resize on them. They've not been annealed. They've not been prepped in any other way. So, but I will say that 3 out of 4 between the two, Frankford beat it a little bit. Again, that could be a foregone conclusion. You did see that the Hornady has a lot more slop in the shaft and the mechanisms. I'm really impressed with the F-1 for not having that. You know, so maybe that was what accounted for that extra thousands. I don't know. Have to do more testing for that. Maybe put a chrono on some bullets after I build them. Maybe we can do a little deeper dive into that another time. So, again, for Slop, F-1 beat the Hornady. For changing out the shell holder, definitely the F-1. Do not care for the system on the Hornady. As far as dropping the spent primers, F-1 beats it again. They go where they're supposed to. They're not on my bench. They're not in the floor for the dog to try to eat, me to step on. So, one advantage that the Hornady does have, depending on what you're looking for, you can prime on it. You can set up the priming system. If your primer depth is not that important to you, you know, that's a good feature. It's an expensive one, but it's a good feature to have if that's what you're looking for. Again, myself, if I'm on my single stage, I'm looking for precision for my rifles. So I'm going to hand prime every single case. It's just that simple. I want the depth exactly where I want it. I'll be using the FA primer. So I do like the light on the FA. Hornady does not have a light. Frankford Arsenal, please charge me $1.50 more. Put a cord in the box. That's my main critique of the whole press. A minor one. Just kind of quirky to offer a light and no cord out of the box. Aside from that, guys, I like it. I have a feeling that my Hornady is going to sit to the side now. It's going to be my F-1 when I'm loading my ammo. Again, we'll see how things go with chrono testing. I already know how things turn out on my Hornady on average. So we'll see what the average turns out like on my F-1. So, alright guys, that's it for this one. Hope you guys have a blessed day, evening, whichever it may be when you're watching this. And you guys take care.